What's up, everybody? Looks like we are live. Today we're going to be going over RWAs, or real world assets. Do you know what that is? Now, real world assets is a topic that kind of transcends TradFi and crypto, and the lines between the two continue to blur and become one thing, right? So I'm excited about this deep dive today. I think we're going to be going over some great projects. The number one on our list, I think, will surprise you because you might not have known that it's kind of at the center of decentralized crypto RWAs, as there are other TradFi companies that are doing RWAs as well. But welcome to Underground Crypto Deep Dive Show. Smash that like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you don't miss one of these every Monday through Friday, 8:30. That is New York time here in the United States. And let me get you over so you can see what I see. All right. So starting off, while we let a couple people trickle in, because we are just kicking off here. This is our second week of live streaming, so I'm loving doing this show. I really am. So Bitcoin sitting at 112,690, right in the middle of 112,000, really. So we've had a pullback. We've had a nice little recovery and a pullback, and again, we're pulling back right now. Ethereum still holding 4,000, though. I do like that. Drop something in the comments if there's anything you would like me to go over. And tell me, what RWA projects do you hold? Or what's your favorite? Either way. XRP sitting at $2.86. BNB at $842. Solana at $181. Doge at $21. Cardano at $85. And Chainlink at $24. Call it $25, just barely under $25. What do we got trending? We're just looking at what is trending in our top gainers, top losers for a moment while we let people trickle in before we really get to the sauce. And today is RWAs, real world assets. So Notcoin, one of the number one trenders. That's good for the Telegram for the Ton ecosystem, which is directly connected to Telegram, of course. Then you got Scale, this YZY, which you may have heard about, you may not have heard about. So it's got $105.9 million in its market cap, and this is directly linked to Kanye West. You know, this is Yeezy. Yeezy, or YZY anyway, money is a concept to put you in a control, free from centralized authority. All right. I just want to call it Yeezy, but it's YZY, is the currency that powers all transaction within the YZY money, or within Yeezy money. I'm just going to call it Yeezy. It's easier that way. Was really interesting. The website's super simple, not a lot of details. This was trending today. There was tons of hype about it. You know, Kanye is, as far as I know, directly behind this. It's on the Solana network. Let's hop over to their Telegram for just a second. We will spend an extra moment on this because honestly, it is one of the biggest trenders of the day. Now, why he's doing this, I have no idea. It says, in the coming days, we will begin rolling out features for YZY users. We are building very informative projects in the short term, which become more robust in the long term. And I won't spend too much time on that, but it does seem to be legitimate. Please follow me, Underground Crypto, over on Twitter. See how many people we got. We got a few hopping in here. So that's the main trender for today. Notcoin still out-trended Yeezy, though. So we got OKB, which we went over yesterday on our stream. We got Wicked Cat, which just seemed to come out of nowhere, but it's just been hanging out in the trending spot. I will just click on it real quick so we can see what Wicked Cat is. It is a meme coin, as far as I know. And anybody who's in here, let me know you're in here. Drop a chat. Don't be shy. So what is Wicked Cat? Wicked Cat is a digital currency on the internet that aims to teach people about understanding and adopting cryptocurrencies by introducing the world to cryptocurrencies in a light, fun, and less serious manner. We believe people can begin to learn about new and exciting types of finances. I'm with the mission. Honestly, they should partner with me because I'm trying to do the same thing. Trying to educate people and bring crypto IQs up for those who actually want it. Let's go to top gainers, top losers. And what RWA coins do you hold? What RWA coins are you hoping that I go over? And just smash the like button if you love crypto, you know. Got to keep it simple there. So let's go to top gainers, top losers. So we got Hiobi as the top gainer of the day. Very interesting. 211%. We got Slash Vision Labs. OKB, Bio Protocol, we went over that yesterday. Bio Protocol up 18.5%. It is decentralized science is the niche. Underground crypto, we always say narrative, narrative, narrative. What is the category? What is the niche? Begin to understand how that plays out and how money cycles through different categories throughout the bull run. So this is decentralized science, something you might not be familiar with, but you should familiarize yourself with it, in my opinion, not financial advice. All right, Revox, Lunar Bits we looked at the other day, not that I remember what it is. We look at so many coins. And then it's Ultima, Scale, Giza, and we'll stop there. But what are the top losers of the day? Yeezy, it pumped right out the gate, and then of course I think a lot of people had some before it went live and they dumped it as soon as it came out. Very typical crypto behavior. You got this Ket, which I don't know about. Light we went over the other day. Uranus, of course, the planet, not anything else. And useless coin. Worthless coin is the one that was on my radar. Useless coin, not so much. We went over worthless coin. There's a certain influencer out there who thinks it's going to do really well because it has a connection to a mobile app called Moonshot, which allows you to easily buy coins that you can't buy on other exchanges, you know, so people can be a part of the movement. With that all said, we will hop into our RWAs. Now, RWA stands for real world asset. But do you know what real world assets are? Let me go ahead and bring it up so you can see what I see. I have it pulled up. Nothing too fancy here. Just some ChatGPT making it simple for me to explain it to you, so I don't just go on very long-winded descriptions here. And tell me, what kind of RWAs do you hold? What coins are you hoping that I go over? Drop that down in the chat. Let me know that you're here. There we go. I don't know why I didn't want to let me do that. All right, so real simple. What are RWAs and why do they matter, right? Real world assets, and I'm going to keep this real simple, so don't run away, are physical and financial assets like real estate, bonds, stocks, and commodities being bought on-chain as tokens. So taking real things like, say, a house or a car, that condominium, and making it on-chain so people can buy shares of it, right? All right, I see you in there, Tony S. I will definitely be going over that real shortly. And then unlock liquidity and financial ownership. So like you could split up an apartment building and you could easily get into owning a little bit of real estate and making money from it with very little money most people can't get into because they don't have those down payments. Cut out the middlemen, of course, faster and cheaper transaction, and unlock 2 trillion to up to 30 trillion in value by 2030. They're expecting real world assets to boom. Now, why are we talking about this? One, because we're underground crypto and we're deep diving everything in crypto as much as we can Monday through Friday at 8:30 New York time, but also because we are here at Underground Crypto expect this to be really big in the next bull run. So we're already kind of positioning ourselves for the bull run, right? Next bull run. So top RWA projects to watch. Chainlink, that's the big elephant in the room. Chainlink is because it powers RWA and DeFi integration, so it is a big player, I think, in the next bull run. That's just my personal opinion. Onondo Finance, of course, is one that most people know. So tokenized treasuries and funds. Then we have the Centerfuge, which I'm sure we'll be going over. Liquidity pools backed by RWAs, securities with BlackRock to tokenize U.S. treasuries, and this red belly network, high security, compliance ready RWAs infrastructures. Lots of big players hopping on this game. And we will jump back to this in a moment. We're going to get right into the RWA deep dive that I'm sure you guys want to see. Get you so you can see what I'm seeing. All right, so right off the bat, we got Chainlink. But we got a couple people down in the comment. Oh, it's the same person, Tony S. Appreciate you being here. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Wants me to go over ZBCN. I know I've gone over this coin before. Is this tied to RWAs? Not sure. But let's check it out. He also said White Rock. White. I'm assuming that's a project. So here we go. We got the ZBCN. Say that fast a bunch of times. Let's go to their Twitter because I'm not seeing a website. And let's see what exactly it is. So decentralized infrastructure network for seamless flows of real world value. So this is definitely in the real world asset category. Their pin post has 138,000 impressions. They have 281.2 thousand followers. So they are not tiny. They are at least in the medium of the conversation here, right? So the next installment of our ongoing TV campaign, every second of work should bring you closer to your goal. With ZBCN, real-time pay, your earnings stream to you instantly, making every moment of work count. Don't work for later. Build your tomorrow today. I like the narrative there. I like the idea. I have gone over this project on the channel before. Also, you know, throw a 333 in the comments if you hold any cryptocurrencies that are real-world asset narrative. All right, let's pop back over here. Take a look at what we got. And what is White Rock, Tony? Can you tell me what that is? Is that a project? So right off the bat, we got Chainlink. Chainlink, again, the more research I do on RWAs as far as crypto is concerned, Chainlink comes up in the conversation almost every time because it is the backbone of feeding data and information to make tokenized assets a reality. So it's got $16.9 billion in its market cap, Chainlink does. That should come to no surprise to anybody because how long has it been around? Well, CoinGecko started tracking Chainlink back in 2017, November 8th, 2017. So it's been around a long time, right? In the last year, it's been doing pretty all right. Big pump, pullback, pump. I mean, that's pretty standard for the crypto market there. And let's go look at their website. Now, I would expect their website to be pretty techy, very professional looking because they're just a huge project, right? And they're doing really professional things. Not a meme coin is what I'm trying to say to y'all. Powering the tokenized finance ecosystem. Talk to an expert, right? Just like if you need a financial advisor, go find one because none of this is financial advice. The Chainlink platform, unlock on-chain finance at scale. Chainlink is the only all-in-one oracle, very important to put that there. Chainlink is an oracle platform to creating workflow across blockchain with legacy systems while embedding critical data, compliancy, and private capabilities, which are then represented as a single line of code that runs in a verifiable decentralized runtime. So that's very interesting. Let's see. Many of the world's largest financial services, institutions, and DeFi protocols have also adopted Chainlink standards and infrastructure, including Swift, Euroclear, MasterCard, Fidelity International, UBS, ANZ, Aave, GMX, Lido, and many others that you might be familiar with. So Chainlink is an oracle. It feeds information to make RWAs run, but also many other things in crypto run as well. We do have the Discord link, by the way, in the description. Hop in there. We are building a community of people who are deep divers and who love crypto and who are here for both the tech and the number go up. How many of you guys think that the top of the crypto market will be the end of 2025, maybe a couple of weeks into 2026, but for all, purposes, the end of 2025, and then they're expecting a big crash after that in the year 2026 as we get the regular 4-year cycle for Bitcoin. Next one is Onondo. Now, when you say RWAs in most crypto spaces, Onondo is usually the first thing that comes up before Chainlink even, because Onondo has prized and built itself on RWAs. Let's go to the max chart, see how long it's been around, at least as far as CoinGecko is concerned. January 17th, 2024. So it's been around a while, but not forever. Which tokenization coins are your biggest sleepers. We'll definitely get into that as we go farther into this deep dive. I have a couple I would like to show you. Honestly, Onondo, I think, is a sleeper. I'm going to be honest with you. Even though it's big, it's poised to capture a lot of market share, to answer your question, Doors. There is so much money from our understanding what the WEF keeps putting out and other big institutions keep saying that there is tons of assets to be tokenized and bring into the market, and that brings so much money and value and liquidity into the market. It's crazy. So, I mean, I think today I saw something about there's $770 trillion worth of assets that could come onto the market over, of course, the next 20, 30 years. But that's still a crazy amount of money. All of crypto right now is, at or under $4 trillion. So you can imagine the numbers we would be talking about. And if Onondo even pulled, 3, 4, 5% of that money over the next 10, 15 years, it would have a crazy market cap. Onondo and Plume, you say? Yep, Chris Hale. Hey, I appreciate y'all being here. Please subscribe and join the Discord, man. I'd love to see some people in there. We just launched the Discord, so give it some time to build up, right? But definitely get in there so we can chat when I'm not live streaming. I'd love to meet you guys and see what you guys are into. Plume is another one. I did a pre-recorded video of Plume on the channel if you want to go find it. If not, I'll pull it up in a minute after I'm done with Onondo here. I'd like to go to their website. Quadrillions. Yeah, but they downplay it. Doors, I actually think you're right. I remember when I was saying the WF put something out where it was something like, I want to say it was 30 to 60 trillion by 2030. I thought that number was really low personally, but that's what they were saying, and now they're talking way bigger numbers. And like you said, I think they're going to continue to just keep putting out bigger numbers. Welcome to the open economy. At Onondo, we design institutional grade platforms, assets, and infrastructure to bring financial markets on chain. So not just real world assets, but also all financial markets. I believe that we're going to blend really hard between TradFi and DeFi and all of these things, and it's going to just become to where you can't really tell the difference between the two. Tony S says Stronghold, ticker SHX. I will get to those. So Onondo is building the foundation for the future of finance. So it's supported on 10 chains, which is nice. I thought it was less than that, actually. Integrated projects, 126. Yield coin market share, 80%. 1.4 billion in TVL. So our technology, your tokens, we're not going to spend forever on this. Don't worry, guys. 1,000 of RWAs, one platform. So they're really just bringing all the RWAs together. They're touting BlackRock. And looks like McKinsey is the other one that's hiding over here. McKinsey and Company, which is a $16 billion a year company right there. So they definitely a player in the game. So Onondo, I don't think we need to spend a ton of time on it. $9.2 billion. Oh, that's its fully diluted valuation. My bad. $2.9 billion in its market cap, which is not too shabby for a coin that hasn't really been around that long. So let's look at a couple of these things from the people in the chat. Again, please tell me what RWAs you are holding and you have the most faith in right now. So first we're going to look at Plume. We'll pull that up. As I said, I did a pre-recorded video of Plume, so you could find that, but we're just going to go over it quickly here. 291 by market cap. To me, those type of things are important. How quick it climbs or falls down the market cap listing. $243.8 million in its market cap, so not too big. Looks like 10 billion tokens, 2.9 billion tokens in circulation. Let's go look at its max and figure out when CoinGecko started tracking it, January 20th, 2025. Pretty interesting. So let's go to plume.org, see what they're all about. RWAs, no shocker there. Looks like Doors really knows his stuff. I appreciate you being here with us. And we really want to build a community of people who deep dive and know what they're doing. I'm not looking to be the smartest guy in the room all the time. I really want to combine our minds and put them together so we can feed off of each other and just do better at both our crypto IQ and our portfolios. RWA that feels just like crypto. I like the website. I scan a lot of websites. I can usually tell right away when there's been some effort put in a website. Yeah. Drizzy says he loaded up big on Plume. I haven't bought any Plume yet. There are so many tokens to buy. I know you guys all probably feel the same as me. There are so many tokens to buy. Now, I think Plume is one that I'm going to load up on for the next bull run. Let me know what you guys think about that. How many people here are following the 4-year Bitcoin cycle for their investment strategies? Would never tell you what to do with your money, but personally, I'm going to go with it until it's broken, right? Until it does something different. So it says ecosystems, community, technology. Again, we are going over Plume. Assets in the pipeline, 5 billion. Ecosystem partners, 200 plus. And what is Plume built on? Ethereum. Okay. So it's built on the Ethereum network. Its ecosystem has Nest. Onondo works with it as well. Black Opal. Community has over 1 million followers on X. That is a great milestone. 450,000 Discord members, 240,000 Telegram subscribers, and it's blockchain. They have a passport, and they have Arc bring anything on chain. So that's bringing things on chain, which is the synthesis of what we are talking about. Private equity giant Apollo invests in real world asset platform Plume. You're going to see so many more big players coming in, I believe. Backed by the best. Hashkey, I see that. Or Hashkey, sorry. Apollo, Galaxy, Portal Ventures. Not familiar with that one. All right, so that's Plume. It is techie. It is finance. It is in the middle of this RWAs. I think it's a great play, but you decide what you want to do with your money, right? Onondo, let's go back to our list of RWAs by market cap. Any coins used on tokenization are intrigued. I love this soundboard right now to bounce ideas. I see the players in the tokenized space. So, Doors, I appreciate you saying that. I might have botched up what you were saying. I understood what you were saying, though. Yeah, I mean, hop in the Discord, Doors. I would certainly like to see what you're into. I'd like to find a lot of crypto people that are like me. I was sitting at home doing all of this deep diving every day by myself, and you can't just go talk to regular people about this stuff. They look at you sideways. And so I was like, I need to start a community of people so I can talk to them about it's a big dream and a big goal, but that's okay. So Plume actually was the next one on our list, but we already went over it. So we have this Polymesh. Anybody familiar with Polymesh in here? Again, hit that like, share, subscribe, and let me know what RWAs you are personally holding. So $155 million in its market cap. So we have dropped in market cap quick from billions to millions. But that's okay because there's probably a lot of sleepers in this niche that are probably not ready to run yet, will be probably big players in the next bull run. All right, I already said that. I won't say it too much. Polymesh network, let's see what it is. We know it's RWAs, but do they niche out in any other way? It's the type of thing you want to look at in projects. Like you might know that it's an RWA, but what if it goes AI? That's a different niche. It might soak up share or get investors from different spaces that you wouldn't expect that the other RWAs are not going to. So future-proof RWAs with a purpose built on blockchain. So Polymesh, purpose-built, public permissioned infrastructure unlocks financial products and streamlines workflow with regulatory compliance issues and settlements. Use, build, or stake on the blockchain, purpose-built for real-world assets. All right. I feel like they just said the same thing over and over. Explore the ecosystem, browse over 40 companies involved with Polymesh, and find partners to grow your project to new heights. So if you got something going on, you could partner with them. Build on Polymesh, a versatile SDK and robust API connectivity, making developing on the purpose-built blockchain a breeze. Stake PolyX, contributing to chain security and operations by staking PolyX on Polymesh node operators. Current reward is 20, let's call it 22%, right? 22 and a little bit. So simplified workflow, public permission, governance, and control. They got it all built into the same token, it looks like. Purpose built for RWAs. Few blockchains have Polymesh's specificity. Let's try that again. Few blockchains have Polymesh's specificity for real-world assets and Polymesh natively incorporated governance, identity, compliance, confidentiality, and security. What a mouthful of words. Polymesh 5 key pillars, right? Streamline an acquitted process and open the door to new financial products by simplifying workflow, compatibility with markets and regulator requirements, no complex, expensive third-party smart contract needed. Whoa, that was probably overwhelming for all of you guys. So I will hop off of that. There is a private blockchain for regulated assets. That's really interesting. We were talking about niches. Okay, well, now we have privacy as a niche added here to the Polymesh. You might want to just mark that in your brain. Gotta love those futuristic white stars. Not 100% sure what you're talking about. Maybe I'm just missing it. But anyways, that's an extra level of niche to put in your mind, that it is also incorporated with some privacy type stuff. Privacy as a niche in crypto is a little bit difficult because of regulators. Sometimes people just get terrified of it and run away. So we got Centerfuge, CFG, number 380 by market cap, with $148.7 million in its market cap. And the max log says May 20th, 2025. So we can go ahead and get rid of the max log, probably throw it in the month log. Check it out. Even there. How about the 7-day? All right, the 7-day, doing what most coins seem to do. Let me take it off of market cap, put it in price. So it came out August 14th, 2025 as far as the 7-day goes. And it was at about 31 cents. And right now we're down to 26 cents. So in the last 7 days, it's down 16.8%. Appreciate everybody who's here right now. Please hit that subscribe button and join us again Monday through Friday at 8:30 New York time. All right, let's find their website, see what they're touting, what they can tell us. We know they're real world asset. We know that is the core category, but are there any other niches associated with this that you would want to have in the back of your mind? So the leading platform for tokenized financial products, Centerfuge real world asset tokenization platform brings the full power of on-chain finances to asset managers and investors. You can contact them if you want. Total asset financed is 1.1 billion and 1,717 assets tokenized. So as we scroll down, it looks like they got treasury bills, DeFi yields, and CLO. All right, I was hoping they'd have a little bit more there. Why Centerfuge? So that really is the main question here. So there are so many different ones. If you only had a little bit of capital and you wanted to put it all in one, they really need to sell you on why Centerfuge is the big winner. Now, I will say they have a much smaller capital, market cap, than the other big players like Plume, like Onondo, like Chainlink. And so maybe you'll get a bigger bang for your buck, right? So let's read it. Centerfuge provides the infrastructure and ecosystem to seamlessly tokenize and manage a diverse group of real-world assets. The Centerfuge technology supports any issuers, assets, or use case with a seamless user experience. All right, that's good. Of course, you got to prove, or they have to prove, that they really have that stuff, right? Asset agnostic platform. Can't talk today. Real-time data access, optimized for efficiency and scalability. Tokenize your funds with Centerfuge. Streamline and accelerate the tokenization of assets and management of fund on-chain. Benefit from advanced reporting features with fully transparent data in one platform. Centerfuge sets a new standard for transparency, security, and operational excellence. Asset access, tokenized assets. So many tongue twisters in these websites, right? Industry contributors. Let's see if any big ones here. Oh, ERC 7540. That one's a good one. Tokenized asset correlation. That one's a good one. And the Real World Asset Summit. I've heard of that before. So, and then we're just going to keep getting a lot of really techie stuff, right? I see the viewership dropping off. I'm sorry that they're so techie in the real world asset category, but what can you do? We are deep diving together. Honestly, I think Centerfuge could do well. I really do. If you're still here with me, drop something in the comment doors. Are you still here? So let's go to Chint AI. All right, here's one that I can't say I've ever heard of. Number 396 by market cap, sitting at about 14 cents in the last 17 days. It's down 22%. I think in the last 7 days, everything's taken a little bit of a pullback as Bitcoin dips because everything still follows Bitcoin. We've seen really nothing, not even Ethereum, decouple from Bitcoin. Is that day going to come? I don't know. What do you guys think? Drop it in the comments. Is there going to be a day where the market or different coins, maybe even the big elephant in the room, Ethereum, going to decouple from Bitcoin XRP and just do its own thing and not worry about what Bitcoin's doing? We haven't seen that yet. $141.1 million in its market cap, but what is it? It should be RWAs because that's the category that we're in. But let's see if there's anything else interesting to it. Leading businesses into the regulated digital asset frontier. You could book a demo. So tokenization, marketplace, compliance infrastructure, blockchain platform as a service. Commission solutions for every enterprise. Cool, man. Just wanted to make sure you were still here. I appreciate you. Jumpstart your idea with blockchain technology. Tokenization helps scale your business globally. A platform of choice for real-world asset tokenization. In the news. So let's see what kind of news articles we got. July 7th says Chint AI. Chint? I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Probably not. And Hubis, Asia Pacific reports the evolution of tokenization amongst HNW and UHNW investors in Asia wealth management markets. I'm no whiz when it comes to Asia, finances. Maybe one of you guys are. So a Chint AI through leadership event, the evolution of tokenization in the UAE, burgeoning wealth markets. Ooh, all right. So how it works, let's give an overview, and then I'm probably off of this one because this one is very much in the Asian market, and I don't know that that is the best idea to be hopping into, but it could be. Just depends, I guess, on how confident you are in that market. A lot of people don't even trade it here in America. How it works. Each digital asset is custom built to meet your specific goals and come with a comprehensive investor portal that can be designed with your company's branding. So it seems like they want to work with big players, not your everyday retail people. Our product suite supports the full trade life cycle of multiple asset classes, including dynamic issuance, high performance secondary trading, automated corporate actions, custody, automated compliance of rapid KYC, AML onboarding. So this is a lot of back end for a lot of places, like say a centralized exchange where you need to rapidly KYC a lot of people. That's what I'm taking away from this. So in the back of my mind, what I would do is I would put in a little note that this is for big product or big players and not your regular retail, which means a lot of money could flow into it very rapidly, right? Because when the big boys put money in, they don't throw $100 in something, they throw millions of dollars in something at a time. And it has a tiny market cap, only 141 million. Korea, yeah. Says, can I update the Discord link? Can you tell me what's wrong with it? I will definitely update it. I don't know if I can do that live very well. All right, I don't want to get too distracted. In a minute, though, I will try to get you an updated Discord link. Just give me a second here. This is where I need some people, somebody to go and do that for me while I'm going live here so I don't lose everybody while I try to do that. So we have Chroma, CHR is the ticker, and it's $83.5 million in market cap. And I'm just going to go back real quick just to show you how quick we've dropped in market cap. So although we hear about this niche all the time, we had Chainlink, Onondo, ZBCN, Plume, Polymesh, and Centerfuge. But from Onondo, we went from 2.8 billion all the way down to 388 million, and then we are continuing to drop, and now we're only at 83 million. So there's not a lot of big players in this ecosystem, if you ask me. Okay, it says it expired. Thank you for letting me know, though. I really appreciate that, and I would definitely get that updated. So this has 978 million in its max supply. Circulating supply is 845 million. So most of the coins are in the circulating supply. Let's go to max and see how long this thing has been out. May 28th, 2019. So this thing's been around a while. It says Ethereum as its like main chain, but it's also on Binance Smart Chain. Let's go to their website. Taking a second to load. Come on, build brilliant. So Chroma combines blockchain with, what is all this crap popping up? All right, with relational database for dApps with smarter future, fairer fees, and richer worlds. Whatever, like when you move your mouse around, all kinds of stuff pops up. Seems like it would have been a cool idea. It's really annoying. Relational blockchain, a fix for everything. Am I saying that right? Yeah, relational. All right. Blockchains are too basic. This is what they're saying here. Blockchains are primitive and experimental compared with databases. Traditional blockchains record information in a list format, making it difficult to store and manage complex data sets on chain. They are also reliant on centralized servers and third-party providers. I mean, they do have a point here for crypto always being decentralized. There's too many of them totally on AWS, right? Amazon Web Services, and that is very centralized. So Doors is saying, do I misunderstand, or who is using which chain? Almost irrelevant with side chains. All right, I'm not quite sure what your question is, man. I do apologize. We added relational databases to fix them. So Chroma records structured blockchain data in linked relational tables. This innovation, which we call relational blockchain, so there's another kind of key definitional word to make sure you remember, because you'll probably see it pop up more, makes it possible to query data directly on chain, perform hundreds of read and write operations with a single transaction, and index blockchain in real time. So they are handling kind of the back-end organization of data. It's a really cool idea. I don't know how it has to do with RWAs exactly, other than, of course, data. There's lots of it when it comes to tokenizing assets. There's a lot of data. Use cases. Yes, please tell us what the use cases of this is. AI, the future of transparency, data, structured data powered by relational blockchain. So gaming, join a family of game changers. So there's roadmap. Looks like they're pretty much involved in everything from AI to gaming. Their roadmap, AI inference, optimization, vector DB, Lang chain integration, and physical AI pilot. Like, if a company uses ETH chain, isn't it almost irrelevant if other chains, XRPL, Solana, use side chains to connect? So that's what we call interoperability, which is just a fancy word for they work together. Now, is it relevant? Is it not relevant? I would say it's a positive, because it means that other liquidity can bridge over, and other people from other chains can also use the product as well. So it's more liquidity in the long run, I think. But how much it really matters, honestly, Doors, is dependent on the project itself and what its use case is and why somebody might want to use it on Ethereum versus Solana. So say you had a project and it, just was a game, right? Say it was just a GameFi kind of thing, and people could play it on both Solana and Ethereum and XRPL, right? That would mean more money, because some people might only stay on one of those networks and maybe never come over to the other networks. Like, a lot of people don't want to come over to Ethereum because of the fees. But if I could go play the game on Solana, my money is still being liquid in the infrastructure of that ecosystem, but I don't have to pay the fees of Ethereum. So you can onboard more people that way, but it might not be the same for other projects that maybe don't have a reason to come over, right? So some people just really have a preference for what blockchains they like to use. For example, if you've ever sent money to yourself or anybody else in crypto, XRP is great. You'll pay like a penny or less in transaction fee. Try doing that with Ethereum. So we have this Thora, which I'm pretty sure I went over the other day. I'm not really sure why I went over it. but I did. And see how many people we have in here. Looks like viewership dropped off a little bit. That's always shitty to see. All right, market cap, $76.4 million in market cap, 10 billion max supply, and 7 billion in circulating supply. That is the tokenomics. Yes, I do think it's important to put that out there. So July 21st, 2025. This thing I don't think has been around very long. Let's go to, like, say, the monthly chart. Well, I guess more like the 7-day chart. Interesting. Of course, down 40% in the last 7 days. Most things are, and most things come out swinging with a bunch of liquidity from private, seed rounds and stuff, and then those people just sell off, and it takes a little while for the real crypto people to come in, buy up, and bring it back to where it started. Some of them never recover. The first RWA, collateralized stablecoin backed by AI-driven RWA hedge fund. So they are making a stablecoin based off of AI-driven RWA hedge funds, tokenizing diverse multi-asset funds to power RWA-backed stablecoin yields. That's really interesting. I have not seen anybody say this yet, so this is kind of a first for me. Tokenizing multi-asset RWA funds. Of course, many people have backed stablecoins with many different things, of course. But this is a different idea, different take. RWA-backed stablecoins and AI-based confluence engine. Earn risk-adjusted yields from diversified real-world assets paid out in a RWA-backed stablecoin, which would be THUSD. Man, there are so many stablecoins I've gone over in the last week. It is mind-blowing. That stablecoin regulation, I hope they get that right, where we really just don't have so many stablecoins. I don't know why we need so many of them. Maybe I'm missing something there. So Thora is the first protocol to tokenize diversified funds with a blend multi-asset backing composed of real assets, gold, private credit, and treasury bills. So with all that said, of course it's going to sound very much like all the other ones that we had gone over. And that's just what RWAs are, right? You're going to hear a lot of the same things again. Now, here's one that I know a lot of people had a lot of chips on the table for, and I don't know if it's really panned out yet. I think RWAs are a little bit ahead of themselves, honestly. I think that RWAs are really next cycle, in my opinion. Risk-adjusted yields versus regular yields, any different? It depends on how it's structured, Doors. It depends on the projects, because every project has the ability to really structure that however they want. So risk-adjusted yields versus, you said, regular yields. What is a regular yield, right? Regular yield is based off of whatever most projects consider a yield, unless you're talking outside of crypto. If you're talking like a regular yield that has nothing to do with cryptocurrency in the TradFi industry, then that's very different. So Goldfinch is one that I know a lot of people had their eye on and really thought it was going to do really well this cycle, and it's kind of yet to be seen as far as I know. So let's see, that is GFI. 727 by market cap, so it is way down there. It only has $56.5 million in its market cap. That's a little bit surprising to me, honestly. They started tracking it back here in 2022, January 10th. Let's check out its tokenomics. So 114.2 million in its max supply, very random number, and 93 million in its circulating supply. Said correct, thank you. All right, Doors, I appreciate you being here and giving me some feedback. The feedback is so necessary. This is our second week of doing this show. We are doing it Monday through Friday, and I really just appreciate you for being in here and just conversing and giving me some feedback. So I know I'm providing some value for you guys. So Goldfinch.finance. And then, of course, we're deep diving RWAs. Everything's going to have a very similar narrative. The world's leading private credit funds now on chain. So it says 10 to 12% net estimated yields, 1,000 plus loans, and 1 trillion plus total fund manager AUM. Unprecedented on-chain exposure to the real world's leading institutional grade private credit funds. So that's very interesting. Access world-class private credit funds in one single pool. So we have Stelluous Private Credit, or the BDC, and then we have private. They all have different little acronyms. Unless you know what they are, they're not going to matter to you for me to tout off all of these. Of course, BlackRock Private Credit Fund is one you would most likely be familiar with. It says plus 19 years. What the heck are they talking about? Oh, track record. Okay. How long they've been around. And the 12-month return. So it tells you all the different ones you could invest in and what the return is. BlackRock is the lowest, it looks like. Yeah, this one's lower. Anyways, looks like the highest one, let's see, 14%, 14.4%. The highest one being this KKRFS Income Trust. Anyways, that's a little techie for most of you, I know. Diversified institutional grade private credit. So this is very much private credit funds, which I guess is somewhat RWA, because those private credit funds and stuff probably hold a lot of actual assets, right? So I guess that still falls in, but it's slightly different if you really think about it. All right, let's go back. Let's see what other ones we have. See if we find any gems here. We got Pinlink coming in at 53.1 million in its market cap, but what is it? So it's got has a .ai website, but my McAfee doesn't want to let me go there. Got to try to stay safe. Of course, it's probably just fine, but we have to stay safe out here in crypto because there's just too many people trying to steal all your money all the time. So they started tracking it around 2004. So it hasn't been out that long by my standards. For somebody else's standards, for meme coin standards, it's been around for a very long time, right? Guess it really depends on the lens in which you are looking through. So we got TrueFi, number 874. And in just a minute, we're going to switch up because we are kind of at the bottom of the barrel here as far as these coins go. And we're going to look at a couple other things that were trending today, right? So we can keep a pulse on what is going on. Also, let me get that Discord. See if I can do this quickly. And not too long, keep you guys waiting too long here. I just want to get an accurate Discord link for you guys, because I hate that the Discord link is outdated. Very sorry for that. Now, do I know how to do this quickly? No, because I am certainly still learning. Does anybody know how to quickly grab my... Oh, invite people. There we go. Oh, well, that's inviting people on Discord. Does anybody know how to quickly grab this link for Discord? Anybody? Throw it in the chat. Ah, man. All right. I couldn't get it quick enough. I was hoping I could pop in here and get it real fast, and it's just not happening. All right. Well, on with the show. So anyways, we're going to talk about some things. One of them we already hinted at, which is Yeezy. We already really looked at it. It honestly looked really boring to me, in my personal opinion, because there was really not a lot of meat and potatoes there. So another project that's been touted is Layer Brett, and I haven't really been able to find anything about it, which is really unfortunate. But there is this Dr. Mutant. Let's see if we can get something for that. Anybody heard of this coin? All right, here we go. Dr. Mutant, it has been blowing up today. I don't even know what it's about. This is kind of a bonus coin for you guys. The market cap is dismal, right? $576,000 market cap, not even $1 million market cap. Could be a huge winner, could be a nothing burger. Most likely a nothing burger, just in my personal opinion. Okay, so we're back with the Matt Furies. He's the one who did Pepe artwork and all of that kind of stuff. Seems like they just grab anything this guy has done and make a meme coin out of it, and it blows up. Very interesting. Tokenomics. All right, I don't know why this thing was pumping so much. It has a tiny market cap. It's really not very exciting. The biggest connection or takeaway here is that it's connected to Matt Fury's drawings, but that doesn't mean that Matt Fury is behind that at all. So not super exciting in my opinion. Let's go back to trending. Again, I'll show this one coin again because it has been pretty popular on social media, which is Yeezy. And we will go to their website. It was pretty lame and boring in my opinion. Hopefully they update it. You got some buy and sell links. If they're even links, it just says buy and sell. Yeezy money is a concept to put you in control, free from decentralized authorities. Yeezy is the currency that powers all transactions within Yeezy money. Here's a contract address, so you get the right one. Let's see, what is it on? So it's on Solana, but I don't see it anywhere else. There's a link to Yeezy.com if you want to buy some very overpriced clothes. All right. Let's see, what else do we got here in the trending that you might not be familiar with? We have OKB. You might know what OKB is. You might not. $233. And its max, it's up 4,800%, so that's pretty good. Was it done in the last month? 369%. So if I remember, this has OKX, ecosystem. So the new money chain makes everything on chain. X layer is an EVM layer 2. So it's a layer 2, this OKB. And I just want to go look at OKX real quick. Mascot wrapped. Okay, so it doesn't look like OKX is its own thing. Very interesting. Thought it was its own thing there. So OKB is X layers native gas token. So X layers native gas token. It's the key to the blockchain operation and governance. Interesting. It's got bridges, which are super critical, foundational. Doors said pass. What are you saying pass to? Testnet, Explorer. Oh, pass on the Mutant. Dr. Mutant. Yeah, I'm with you in that boat. If that's what you're referring to, I'm also going to pass on that one. So when I wrote down what's, BlockDAG. So BlockDAG is another one that was trending today. Let's pull that up real quick. All right, getting nothing for that as well. So it must be giving me some real underground picks there that are certainly not showing up on CoinGecko yet. Could be a little sketchy, could be super early on it, never know. And let's go to top gainers, top losers. I'm really just looking for coins that I haven't, really gone over very much that might be interesting to go over here, as we're pretty much done with the RWA stuff. So Huobi is at 96 cents. I've heard about this many times. Where can you buy BlockDAG? I'm interested in that one. It's interesting that you say that. So I own a coin called DAG. I don't know if it's BlockDAG though. Here, let me go look. Matter of fact, I'll hop back over here. And let me just put in DAG because I have some money in a coin called DAG, which is I'm pretty sure this one, yeah, Constellation. And it's got a base contract, 109.1. I don't know if this is the one that I'm even in. I bought it a long time ago on Uphold, so I'm not even really sure which one it is. 109.1 million in market cap, but because it's on the base blockchain, I don't know if this is the one that I'm referring to. And of course, if I just go type BlockDAG in, I'm probably going to get all kinds of different things. Yes, TGE Constellation. Okay, this is the one that you're interested in. I wonder if this is the one that I'm invested in or not. This has been around for a while. Let's see how long this thing's been around, because this might be the one that I've actually invested in. I'm pretty sure that it is. Yeah, I think it is, because at one point it spiked like crazy. Was that all the way back in 2021? That can't be it. Maybe this spike here in 2024. But, I mean, it has a decent market cap, but it's been around a really long time, since 2018. Where do you buy that one? Man, I want to say Uphold. So a good thing that you can do is you can actually come down to the bottom here on CoinGecko. I'm sure you can do the same thing on CoinMarketCap. And it actually lists all the exchange where you could buy this token. So I like Mexi Global. You can KYC with the Palau ID. I do have the link for that in Discord, but it will cost you $200, and that is to be able to KYC across different platforms that usually you can't use being here in America, right? Also, I see a decentralized exchange, Aerodrome, one of my favorite coins. It's definitely in the running of some of my favorite coins. So you could buy this. Are you Web3 savvy? Do you know how to, you got MetaMask, you got wallets, hot wallets, cold wallets. If you can go to Aerodrome, you could buy it that way. And that would honestly be my recommendation. That's how I prefer to buy things a lot of times. I don't see Coinbase. Weeks is a good one, is a good exchange that's real easy and simple and doesn't really require KYC. Not financial advice, but I have an account with them. Of course, KuCoin, if you're familiar with them. Let's see, any other big ones here. Bitmart, you can get as an app on your phone. They haven't really given me a lot of trouble, although I haven't logged into Bitmart in a long time. I would just buy it through Aerodrome, real Web3, decentralized exchange. I would buy it that way, Doors. But that's just my personal opinion. Not trying to tell you what to do with your money, of course. Are you tired of hearing me say not financial advice as much as I'm tired of saying it? All right, let's get rid of this. Okay, B. So we brought up HUOB, which is one I've heard a million times, but when I think of it, I'm not exactly sure what it is. If you look at its max chart, it's been around since like 2018. All right. The 1 year chart looked crazy. Or was it there's a 1 month chart. Okay, look at this thing. Just trailed at 30 cents, 28 cents for a long time, and then just shot up to 96 cents. It's up 263% in the month, but really not even the month. It's more like the last 7 days. And I really want to know why this thing is pumping so hard. I'm relatively noob level. I use cold storage and mostly use major exchanges. I'm even skeptical of airdrops. I'm extremely safe. Hey, you're hitting it right on the head though, because you do want to be smart. You do want to be wary of airdrops. If you use an airdrop you think you're going to get, in my opinion, what I would do is have burner wallets that are not connected to anything. See if you can get the airdrop. Send it somewhere else. I would even send it to like a centralized exchange, because they're not going to be able to drain a centralized exchange like they might be able to drain a wallet that you send it to. And yeah, dude, just be safe. In my opinion, that is the way to go. Too many people I've seen lose lots of crypto. So you want a major exchange. Weeks. If you don't have an account over on Weeks, I highly recommend it. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I will get an affiliate link, honestly, at some point. But they don't really require a KYC, and it's really simple. As long as you have a Coinbase or something that you can, buy some XRP and send it over there to have money to then swap over into DAG. There you go. So trade crypto only on HTX. So what is HUOB? I really want to know, because I've heard about this coin for a long time and I've never really spent much time on it. So it looks like it's this HTX exchange. Is it the token for the exchange? Could be. Buy cryptos. We were just talking about buying cryptos here. Our core products is spot, future, and earn. Okay, so HUOB looks like a centralized exchange. Safeguarding your assets. It's really interesting though, because in my regular pre-recorded videos, when I do my deep dive of just one coin, I usually go down to markets and look, and I don't see HUOB there very often. So they're not coming up on my radar very often as a centralized exchange. They do have iOS, Android, apps. That's good. You could follow them on all their social media. Don't know why you would want to do that, but you could. Maybe on X, and if they have some kind of giveaway or some kind of reason to hop over there and trade with them. Honestly, nowadays we're in the world of so many different centralized exchanges that it's almost hard to know who to go with. Pretty much you gotta not KYC and people will come over there, but then eventually you get too big and then you have to KYC and then you lose a bunch of customers and they just go on down the line and the cycle repeats. It's really annoying, honestly. Because Mexi Global, one of my favorite places, I would love for them to open back up to everybody like it used to be. They used to be like Weeks where they didn't really KYC. You could get in. They had all the coins, pretty much as soon as they came out. You know, Weeks is pretty good about that too, Doors. If there's a coin and it just comes out and you really haven't been able to find it anywhere else, almost guarantee you that Weeks has it. Maxi Global really guarantee you that it has it. All right, so that's what Huobi is. That answers my question. Kills my curiosity there a little bit. So Lunar Bits, we looked at this the other day, 49.2%. 18 cents it's sitting at. But let's go to its website and see what the heck they're talking about, because I don't really remember. Lunar Bits, Bitcoin Runes token. So I believe this is very smart contract on Bitcoin orientated. I think their website could be a little bit more user friendly. I hate when they make the writing so small. Lunar Bits, a Bitcoin token built on Runes protocol, is a community project of space, art, music, and Bitcoin lovers. So this must be for the Bitcoin maxis. The community celebrates the historic events where Lunar Bits QR code embedded digital artifacts launched atop the SpaceX Falcon 9 in a private payload. This is very interesting. I did not really know about this. Lunar Prize payload on whatever this mission is, and landed in a time capsule on the moon on February 22nd, 2024. So not even that long ago. Popular space art music community is famous for celebrating alongside Bitcoin industry, music festivals, art fair. All right, so this sounds really cool, but it sounds very niche. It sounds like something you'd really have to be interested in. I like the idea of, smart contracts on Bitcoin and Lightning Network, and it having all kinds of things built on top of it, being super safe and secure as Bitcoin is so far. Will that compromise it? Will it degrade the value? A lot of maxis seem to believe that bringing that stuff over is just not necessary, and they want you to leave their Bitcoin alone. And other people are like, Bitcoin was supposed to be the future of all of this stuff, and we should bring all of that back now that we have more, ability to do that. So it depends on, I guess, on where you fall in that part of the argument. It is really cool that there was an actual space mission that put a capsule on the moon with a QR code, I guess. Aliens, I don't know if they are scanning QR codes. They're probably way past that. What is a Bitcoin ordinal and what is the Runes protocol? So Bitcoin ordinal are the first very popular Bitcoin digital asset inscription system used by collectible commodities, and the Rune protocol built on top of Bitcoin ordinals innovation tokenized and inscribed the meme token for the use of the Lunar Bits community. All right, and that's enough of that, right? We get the gist. We get the point there. It is up 7.7% in the last 7 days. What's it looking like on the month? 4.7% down on the month. All right, let's see what other projects we can look at here as we're kind of winding down. Slash Vision Labs. This could be interesting. So Slash Vision Labs, ticker SVL, number 337 by market cap. 500% in the last month. Let's look at the max. When did it roughly come out? Looks like 2024, April 29th, 2024. But in the last month, it's kind of had this... It's not a huge pump up. It looks like a slow move up over the month, which is, I guess, more sustainable. $186.8 million in its market cap. We're just deep diving. Hit that like, share, subscribe button if you're still hanging out. And Slash Card, Japan's first crypto card. Slash Card, Slash Payment, Slash Vision Portal. Alice NFT project. So there's an NFT project. Got Slash Card, which is just a card, really. I'll cash app you $10 if you can find how one of the CEO of Plume passed away mysteriously without anyone saying much. Weird. That is really weird. Definitely no need to cash app me $10, but I'm going to actually write that down, and I'll see if I can find anything about it. Where have you tried to look for information on that? Glad to see you're still here. While you're still here, before I get off, I'm going to go see if I can find that Discord link and figure out why the one I have is maybe not working. Let's pop you over to my cutscene while I do that. It's got to be an easy way to pull your Discord link. Obviously, I grabbed it before, so I don't know why it's so difficult to do now. Anybody know the easiest way to grab your Discord link? I'm still building out this Discord. I can't say that I'm super savvy with Discord, trying to make it happen for the community that I'm building here, but not exactly sure. A whole bunch of stuff for creating channels and stuff like that, but like, just give me the link. Nah, we don't need to go streamer mode. Mess everything up, huh? Feel like this should be way simpler. Couldn't really find anything. They are hiding something for sure. Yeah, it's really weird. People mysteriously going missing or just being found dead in crypto. You know, everybody really, it's a really interesting, you know, for thought kind of thing. How many people give a lot of hard time to people who don't want to say who they are behind projects and stuff? Well, with the alarming amount of people who are successful being found dead, and of course, I'm sure their money stolen. I mean, who just kills them and doesn't steal their money? I'm not surprised that people don't want you to know who they are when they, you know, make $200 billion all of a sudden, or any amount of money. Who they were already involved with maybe is a good school for thought too. Or people just wanting to power move and take over companies and stuff like that. I mean, look what happened to BitBoy and stuff. I don't know all the details, but he certainly did lose access to that company that he did build. And I still can't find this link. This is bizarre to me because I know that it's probably right in front of me. Invite people. Create channel. Obviously, I had it at one point. You could tell me your name and I could just add you real quick. Obviously, I'll update the link and I'll find that later. But if you want to just put your Discord name, I'll actually just invite you because I do see that. I would say it's embarrassing that I don't know how to get the Discord link, but I'm not embarrassed. But I should know how to do this relatively easy. You should just be able to click and be like, get invite link or share or something like that, right? Is that what I'm missing? Threads. Oh, here it is. All right, I did find it. I probably lost everybody while I was waiting to do that. But let's see if I can edit and update this in real time. All right, so it is a different one. I did update it. I'm going to put it in the chat as well. All right, that should be the Discord channel there. Hopefully I didn't give you a random link. Let me know if that works, Drizzy. Again, I appreciate everybody being here. Is there anything you want me to go over? Go ahead and put that in the comments. Any ideas for other things that we should deep dive, ecosystems, all that kind of thing? I'll put it back so you can see what I'm looking at here. And real quick, I would like to talk about some of these other things I have pulled up. My whole mission is really building the IQ of people in crypto, and from anywhere from beginner to intermediate to more advanced than that. I really want to build, of course, your IQ, but my IQ as I do it. And then also, you know, we just feed off of each other. I think that's what it's really all about. None of us have time to be experts on every single thing in crypto. You're welcome, man. I will probably be in there. Again, I just launched this Discord, so there's not a lot going on. Feel free to chat. One of the big perks, though, of this being a new channel kind of on the up and rising is that you have access to me that would be hard to get maybe a year from now, 2 years from now. And I'll definitely know your name and know you as somebody who's active in the community. So, there's perks to that. There's perks to being first, right? Not sure why it doesn't want to let me bring up my other window so I can go over this other stuff about RWAs. Okay, here we go. So we started to talk about this, but I didn't go over all the information, so we'll go ahead and do it now. So we said what real-world assets are, physical financial assets. We don't really need to do that, right? Top projects to launch were Chainlink, Onondo, Centerfuge, the Securitize, and Red Belly Network. Red Belly Network is one that I really want to still go over. Yeah, it works. Cool, man. I'm glad to hear that. And I will be posting kind of all the different things that we went over on the live stream. I have a section for that where I just post everything that we went over in case you want to reference it or you miss a stream. So Red Belly Network, high security, compliance ready RWA infrastructure. So why tokenization is exploding. So we have this Ronald Burge, which is a big, is head of a big thing like McKinsey is a company. And he says the RWA market could hit 10 trillion by 2030. That's pretty good. I think it's still conservative, like somebody else said. I'm a rookie. I won a 10K parlay and threw profits into Plume. All right, well, I don't think that you will be too upset about that. I'm no financial advisor, but it doesn't seem to like you would lose money on that one. And I'm surprised that you won the money and did something, in my opinion, smart with it and didn't just gamble it or something like that. That's what I see a lot of people do, looking for a 10x in Plume. I don't think that that's crazy. Are you familiar with the 4-year cycle, Drizzy? The 4-year Bitcoin cycle, where they basically say Bitcoin does pretty much the same thing. We have 3 years of rise, then we hit an all-time top, like an all-time high. We have a year of it dumping, then it starts to collectively pick back up. And what's the word I'm looking for? Not coming to my mind, but for about 3 years until we see the next top of the market, and it does that over and over and over again about every 4 years. So McKinsey, even a conservative estimate, shows $2 to $4 trillion potentially. So there's money coming into these RWAs, basically, is the gist of it. Drizzy, if for some reason you don't sell what I believe will be the top the end of this year, if you hold it into the next cycle, I don't think you'll be too mad about that either. Might even be a bigger win. Yeah. So I hope you get that 10x, man. I'm rooting for everybody out here. The next DeFi bull run, RWA-backed projects could drive the next crypto cycle. Chainlink, Onondo, Centerfuge, Pendle, yield and lending infrastructure, and this Securitize and Red Belly bringing institution compliance into Web3. I'm pretty sure Red Belly was in the TradFi world of things. So the future of Web3, the line between TradFi and DeFi is blurring. Tokenized stocks, bonds, and real estate are coming fast. Billions in carbon credits, rent rolls. Got to look up rent rolls because I'm not exactly sure what they're referring to right there. It's pretty interesting. And private equity are already on chain. RWAs are shaping DeFi 2.0, a more regulated institutional and massive crypto ecosystem. I mean, I think these things are going to be everyday life. Not really learning a lot about it. All right, man. Well, I'm glad to see you here as a part of this community. I'm definitely open to any questions that you have. So it was trying to give me scripts. I don't need scripts. If you haven't been able to tell, I don't have any scripts when I do this. I do this off the cuff. I believe in the organicness of doing it that way. I'll look for a few pointers and things here and there so I can come with some good information for you guys, but I'm not going to script out these shows. When people do that, it's so boring and really loses its genuineness. So we were looking at Slash Labs. It's one of the trenders of the day. So you just hold Plume. All right, well, maybe you'll see some other things you want to get into. Maybe you can learn some more just about all the different ecosystem and niches in crypto. I think crypto is the future. If you break it down to blockchain technology, just the technology of blockchain itself can revolutionize a lot of things. Of course, smart contracts and stuff help big time. So what else do we got? Bio Protocol. I'll bring this back up. I'm glad to see it was pumping today. We talked about it yesterday. This is a niche. Speaking of different niches, Drizzy, this niche is very decentralized science. So a lot of people don't trust science. As they told us, trust the science. Well, it found out a lot of people don't trust the science, and for good reason. Well, if we could have it all on blockchain, if we could verify that it's legit, if we could see in an understandable way how they went about getting the quote-unquote science they got, well, maybe at that point we would trust it more as a people. So decentralized science really has the ability to maybe bring that in, right? Your gateway drug to decentralized science. Well put. The Bio Protocol is DeScience new financial layer engineered to commercialize the best science faster. So you can launch their app, which I don't know if we did that yesterday. So we have this Abri AI? Abria? I don't know. I'm terrible at saying words I've never seen before. But it's an agent. So it's an AI agent, probably in the decentralized science. Thoughts on Yeezy Coin? Yeah. A lot of times when you see these things launched, I'm skeptical of them. Now, if you were going to get into it, or if I was going to get into it, I should say, in my personal opinion, I'll come back to this in a minute. We're mostly just hanging out, me and you right now. Let's go to Yeezy real quick, because I did pull it up. I'm not sure if you saw that. You probably did. But, I mean, it's legit as far as I understand. It has the backing of Kanye. Wouldn't say he has the best public opinions right now, but there are people who will never leave him alone, and people who follow him like a cult, and I think he likes that a lot. I don't really feel any which way about him. I don't hate him. I don't love him. I don't really care about him, to be honest with you. $108.1 million in market cap. So it came out. Let's go to like a 7-day. Yeah, it's brand new. It just came out. It fell from $1.93. Probably a lot of people who were in it. It fell down, and then now could be a good time to buy. It could go lower. Is he just going to rug pull this for some quick money? Does he actually have a vision and a team? Even if he does have a vision and a team, we have seen celebrities come into the crypto space thinking they were going to do something. Of course, they don't have any idea how to build anything most of the time. And it's usually the developers that ruin it for everybody who have an exploit, have a way to suck liquidity out of it. I mean, look what they did to the Haktua girl. I don't think she knew about that stuff. She could have, but I think the developers took full advantage of her and ran away with the money. I think it was something like $500 million. Yeah, that's incentive. That is incentive for those developers to run away with it, right? I don't know. Maybe there's something like that going on. Maybe he has people he can trust. The website's super boring. It doesn't intrigue me at all for as many websites I look at constantly. Let's go to their Twitter again. I'm really just doing this for you because you asked, and I appreciate you being here. They got a gold check mark. They have 29.9 thousand followers in a very short period of time. Pretty cool. Here he is, like, coming up with the concept and building it himself. At least that's what they're making it look like. Is this organic? Did he do this all by himself? I have no idea. Here's a video of him. So here's him saying the official token just dropped. Countdown to Yeezy on Yeezy.com. Of course, this is going to be all intertwined with his, fashion, his design, his clothing. I'm sure it's another ploy to get people to buy that stuff. Very basic clothing. But if you're into like minimalism, maybe that's your thing. And yeah, that's how I feel about Yeezy. Yet to be seen. Could be a good time to get in. Does have the awareness. He does bring a lot of marketing, I guess, to the project, which is what a lot of projects strive for, just people to know that they exist. And he's good at just doing crazy stuff, so it might not be a bad place to throw some money, but you never know. Not financial advice. MycoDAO, long COVID labs, that's a word I probably shouldn't be saying on YouTube, right? Spine DAO, what's this? Curetopia, Quantum Biology DAO, and Vita DAO. That's interesting. I know that they probably blur the lines of what you can and can't say when it comes to this stuff, and they probably should be careful about anything that they try to claim. These decentralized science. It'll be interesting to see what they can say, what they can't say. There's a bridge here. I want to see what protocol are they on. So they're on Ethereum, but they're also on Base and Solana. Those are good places to be. Good accessibility for people in different ecosystems that are really big. And Bio Protocol so far is a winner. And in the last 24 hours, we said it was up 17%. So even from us talking about it yesterday, it's up 20%. What's my number one holding? Probably XRP. I bought quite a bit of it when it was like between 20 and 50 cents. And Dogecoin, I happened to just never sell from the last bull run where I got into crypto. I'll tell my story just for a second. I got into crypto because there was a thing that happened worldwide that caused a lot of the markets to crash and everybody to be scared. I'm sure you know what that thing is. It was just mentioned a minute ago, but I don't want to say it on YouTube too many times. And I was on Robinhood app. You know, I bought a bunch of things. They went up. I sold them. Took like $220 to $250. They only had like a handful of cryptocurrencies on there. Didn't know what any of it was. It was like Ethereum, Dogecoin, and something else. I threw like $250, $220 in Dogecoin. Didn't pay a lot of attention to it. Didn't know what I was doing at all. Was just kind of reinvesting some of my gains as I pulled all my profits. And then the next thing you know, it was up. It was up. Oh, I was watching it go up, you bet. But at one point, it was up over like 22 grand off of like a $220 investment. And that just caught my attention and made me go, yeah, I need to know what this crypto stuff is about. Started watching a lot of YouTube, started doing a lot of research and trying to figure out what the heck the point of all this was. And was my money going to keep going up? You know, is this going to go up forever? Of course, I was a complete noob at that time, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I thought, you know, this thing can just keep going up. And I held it when the market crashed, and I just kept holding it. So it is one of my biggest holdings per dollar, but that's just because I'm still holding on to it. I'm sure I'll probably exit Dogecoin this cycle, and who knows if I'll buy it again, honestly. But XRP has done me really well, and I have a few others that have done me really well. A lot of your more basic coins can do really well. You know, everybody feels like here's one thing that I say from my own personal opinion. A lot of people feel like they need to get in this new coin, put a ton of money into it, meme coin, whatever it is, and it's going to do 100x and all of this stuff. And a lot of those people lose. I've played in that arena myself plenty of times, had a couple wins. They usually cover your losses, but a lot of losing as a lot of rug pulls and just sometimes it's a rug pull. Sometimes they just deliver what they promised because they really don't know what they're doing. Because anybody can make a coin nowadays and type some stuff on a website and promise you the world. That doesn't mean they have any idea how to bring any of that to life. And yeah, man, I appreciate that, Drizzy. Yeah, it worked out well, but it's the reason why I'm here, and I fell in love with crypto. And then I learned about trading, and I met my mentor in real life and got to be friends with him and just really loving the crypto YouTube thing. Although a lot of people, we're ahead of the curve. A lot of people are not here yet. And so a lot of people think who are in crypto that, everybody really knows about the future of this stuff, but they don't. Go talk to anybody in a store. They don't know anything about this. You're still super early, in my opinion. But anyways, yeah, that's really kind of my story. Not a crazy long story, but that's how I got into crypto. And then I just never left because I'm pretty sure that this is where most of the quickest money is going to come in our lifetime. There are once in a lifetime opportunities. Somebody said one time, and I think it was said well, this is more of like a once in a species opportunity that you have here with blockchain technology, investing in it early. It's kind of like the .com bubble, but this stuff is way more able to change the world than the .com bubble was, and it revolutionized the world. So that says a lot about the actual technology, right? Well, I'm going to hop off. I went way over. I appreciate everybody who's here. I hope I see you tomorrow. Usually I'm doing these Monday through Friday, 8:30 New York time, but I'm probably going to go right through the weekend and do them as well. If people keep showing up, we'll do them every day. I appreciate you guys being here and making my dream come true to have people to talk to this, about. Hopefully you're jumped in the Discord. I did update the link. I did put it in the comments. I'd love to see you guys over there. Crypto Ron out. Till tomorrow. All right. Now I got to actually end the stream right now that I did my big spiel. Have a good night.